Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the dark truth about Christianity, part 6. And this has to deal with the persecution of the mystics, where many were martyred, they were killed, they were murdered, many were burned at the stake, and many were excommunicated. And I'm just doing this video to show you the mother of all religious denominations, because all of these religious denominations came out of the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church first had a hold of the Old Testament. And from the Old Testament, they put the New Testament together, and then they begin with the New Testament to indoctrinate the entire masses concerning one special, unique man who existed 2,000 years ago in order to rob the people from the knowledge of cosmic consciousness, or the knowledge of self, their God self, their higher self, their creative self. So the Catholic Church has been operating in a totalitarian spirit or energy from ever since. And it continues today through all of the daughters or denominations that comes out of the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Church is still alive and well with its persecution and with its hate against the mystics. That is why religious people and superstitious people will call me crazy. They will try to assassinate my character. They would say anything to turn others away from this teaching of self-realization. And that is the continuation of their mother, because their mother would have taught the entire world to believe in secular history. That is pointing them to look outwardly. And that is why many people who are trapped in secular Christianity, they fail to realize that they are in self-hate and self-doubt. And they have been taught never to believe in themselves, but to believe in this one universal man that they refer to as Jesus. And in so doing, they are robbing themselves of coming to discover who they are, of coming to understand more about themselves and the cosmic consciousness, the universal consciousness, the consciousness that would empower you to create your reality consciously, the consciousness that will bring you to understand that your real identity is your divinity. So they have continued the robbery of humanity knowing their divinity through mental slavery. And this mental slavery of which I speak is religious slavery, superstitious slavery. And most of all, it will breed poverty, and it will give virtue to guilt and shame and condemnation and poverty and everything that constitutes secular Christianity. Okay, that is pointing to look outwardly. So, my brother, my sisters, we are seeing that the church has always been responsible for the blood of the martyrs. We see that the church has always been responsible for murder, rape, mayhem, genocide. And we see the church carry out all of these atrocities under the disguise of trying to save the world. And so when we look at preachers who want to make sure they have their private jet and they have their mega churches under the disguise of wanting to save the world, we are seeing the Catholic Church still carrying out its work of robbing the people, fleecing the sheep, and excommunicating those who do not agree with their doctrine or their indoctrination. We are seeing the Catholic Church still alive in all of these denominations, where we see every church is opening up what is known as a preschool. Preschool. And this is all about programming the subconscious mind, because the Jesuits will tell you that you give me a child and I'll show you the man. They understand what it really means when it says that if you train up a child in a certain way, that when they become older, they would not depart from it. And so all of these churches, they're having these preschools, and many people who are unaware or uninformed concerning how the mind really works and how the subconscious mind really works, and those who are misinformed also about money, and they get caught up in the rat race and chasing after money, they take their children at a very young age and they send them to a preschool when they're supposed to be homeschooling their own children and taking care of their children. So the women have lost their place as what women supposed to be, and so they give their children to be indoctrinated through a fake school system or a fake educational system that they refer to as kindergarten, they refer to it as a preschool before they enter into the main establishments, okay, where they will be further indoctrinated. And so, my brothers and my sisters, we have to take the responsibility to teach our children very early and let them know the origin of secular Christianity. When I say secular Christianity, I'm speaking about Christianity that is not teaching you to look inwardly. Christianity that is not teaching you to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Christianity that is forbidding you from accepting your God self. So when the Bible speaks about Christ saying that I am the Father are one, it is you who will come to realize that God and man are one. It is you who will come to realize that you are a powerful spiritual being having a human experience. It is you who will come to that awareness. It is you who will come to a certain level of enlightenment. It is you who will come to a certain level of awareness. But they're doing everything in their powers to block you from coming to the place of self-realization. Now, many times I speak to you, I always want to speak to you concerning my experience. I'm going to share experience with you. And see, many people do not believe that they would have lived other lives here before. Many people think that this is the first time they've been here. But I'm telling you, based on my experience and what was shown to me in many dreams, I would have had many lifetimes. Okay, and I want to share one with you whereby I was killed by the church, by John Dane. Okay, and these people was actually rejoicing while they had me under the water. Okay, and was jogging me, thinking that they were actually overcoming the work that I was doing. And in that dream, I had my hair a certain way, like how the Buddha normally has his hair, like that. In that dream, when they were keeping me under that water. And when the last breath leave my body, I saw when my spirit left my body, seated in the lotus pasture. I was sitting in the lotus pasture, and the voice of a woman spoke to me and asked me, Do you see that? And when I look around to see the woman who was speaking to me, that's when I awake out of my dream. And that's where I realized that the enemy cannot die. It is immortal. It went through the water, and I realized that it cannot be destroyed by water. It cannot be destroyed by fire. It cannot be destroyed by atomic bomb. It cannot be destroyed by none of these things, because they are actually the creation. But that which I behold, that's definitely the creator. It's the imaginary man. Okay, it's the man of imagination. And so, my brother, my sisters, what they didn't want you to come to realize is that God and man is man's imagination, and you can use your imagination to create your reality consciously. Therefore, you do not have to depend on the church for salvation, because true salvation is self-realization. You do not have to depend on politicians to better your financial conditions. You can create your conditions whichever way you want it to be. Just recently I did a video concerning how Joshua stopped the sun, and I show you in that video, it is you who have the power to bend reality. It is you who have the power to decide the outcome of your life, and showing you that you can definitely change the outcome of your life, because you have the power of thoughts, and you can stop your thoughts, and you can direct your thoughts to always work in your favor. So, my brother, my sisters, they would have decided long time ago, okay, through the Nicene Council and so on, to put all of these teachings that they would have put together to keep the people from believing in themselves, to disempower the people and keep them under the energy of fear. That is why this whole thing about Christianity, it came into being through persecution, through the shedding of blood, through murder, and through genocide. So it is built upon a lie. That is why you cannot be a Christian and not be double-tongued. That is why you cannot be a Christian and you do not have doubt and fear and guilt and condemnation, and most of all, being delusional. It is impossible for one to call themselves a Christian and believe that the Bible is secular history, and they do not have these traits following them wherever they go. Okay, so it doesn't matter where in the world you meet a Christian, you will always meet one who's actually a hypocrite, and one who's trying to live a life that is impossible to live, and trying to be like this universal man, Jesus, that they would have given to them, which there was no such a man. Okay, because if there was such a man with such a power and he's now living in you, you have to do the same thing, because you cannot check the law of reproduction that every seed and every species must and will always reproduce after its kind, and whatever life is in the seed, that is the life that will bring forth. That's why when we look around, we see every plant is bringing forth the life that is in the seed. Okay, so no one can change those immutable laws. And that is why most religious people have no concept concerning the immutable laws that governs all of humanity, especially having a good understanding of the law of mentalism. And they would realize that the Bible is mental. It is psychological. It all have to do with the human psyche. It all have to do with you coming to know that your real identity is your divinity. It's all about cosmic consciousness, because consciousness is the only reality. So, my brother, my sister, I'll continue to expose Christianity. I'll continue to expose the lie, and I will continue to point you to look inwardly, because that's my calling. That's my ministry. Okay, I've always been a mystic in every lifetime. Okay, and it cannot be changed. And though they may destroy this body, they're not able to destroy my soul. Okay, that is why I am here again, and I'll keep reincarnating to bring this message to all of humanity, pointing each and every one to look inwardly. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, I really want to thank you for listening to me, and I would definitely recommend that you listen to Alan Watts speaking about Christianity, speaking about religion. I think what I would do, I would put a link okay, of a video with Alan Watts speaking, because he would go more into the historical parts of Christianity and show you the history and give you the names of some of those who were martyrs, some of the mystics who were killed many years ago. But I'm just sharing my experience with you to let you know that these things carry a lot of truth with them, and that from ages to ages to ages there always been mystics, men and women who were born for this purpose, to bring hope to humanity, to bring the true gospel, which is a gospel of self-realization, a gospel that is teaching you about your God self, a gospel that is telling you that you are God in flesh having a human experience, a gospel that will definitely uplift Psalms 82, okay? Your God, nevertheless, you shall die like a man. And your life would all be in question concerning the tradition of the day. You would all be persecuted and rejected by the church. You see, these Protestant denominations, many of them are so bold-faced that they would speak against their mother, which is the Catholic Church, when they are actually carrying out the work of the Catholic Church. It's just like your presidents and the prime ministers. They're just carrying out the work of the shadow government, the government that you do not see. And even the church is behind every corruption, all the pornography, all the homosexuality, all of these things that they are preaching against, they're actually behind of it. That is why they always encourage their members to mark an X. And that's how they do it, because church and politics, they merge together. So as I continue to expose the wicked and deceptive church system that is pointing you to look outside of yourself, I know that there are those, especially in my country, who hates me, and many who disagree with me, but I forgive them because they do not know better. They do not have any concept of energy, vibration, and frequency. Many of them do not have any concept of the conscious and subconscious mind, how it really works. Many of them do not read their Bibles, and many of them were definitely indoctrinated from a very young age, because all of us had to go through a school system that is merged with the religious system to keep us thinking a certain way and to act a certain way. But as time go by, I see some of them are coming to realize what I'm saying. I was saying all the time that it is the truth, because it was just yesterday I was reading one of my comments on TikTok, and someone, it have to be someone from this country, okay, because they said they remember they seen me speaking to some Adventists before and was trying to show them certain truth, but he realized that they were not ready for the level where I was actually vibrating. And he says that it was in the time of COVID, in the time of the pandemic and so on, he really catch himself and really come to the knowledge of self, and now he's following this kind of work concerning spirituality. Okay, so bit by bit we are seeing people are waking up, and when many wake up to realize how deceptive Christianity has been, they will realize how corrupt they would have been, and they will realize that all the time they was denying their real identity, and they were the ones who were crucifying the Christ who is inwardly. They are the ones who are joining to crucify the Christ consciousness between two thieves. And these two thieves always dressed in jacket and tie. One is promising you a good life while you're here, and the other is promising you a good life after you leave here, because their goal is to keep you from discovering who you are and how to use your inner power to achieve your every desire. They want to just rule, divide, and conquer. But I'm saying to you, take back your power. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to say to you, If this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram or you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you feel strongly to support this work, I just want to remind you that we have a PayPal and that the link is always down below. Also, you can support by allowing the ads to play up to a minute or half of a minute, okay, which is 30 seconds. Also, you can support our Patreon community by being a part and support this work continually as we work together for the advancement and the upliftment of all of humanity, teaching them to look inwardly to discover that their real identity is their divinity. Also, I have a $20 course. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And it's all about you getting in touch with that inner science and technology that is always taking place inwardly. And when you get in touch, you will be in alignment to understand your outer ecology and why everything that the sun shines upon, it brings forth bountifully. And when you understand your oneness and you come in alignment with your inner solar system, your light will so shine for the world to see that they would behold your work among all of humanity, because you would have tapped into your creativity and you would have tapped into your true identity, and now you're using your identity, which is your consciousness, to create your reality consciously. So if you feel strongly led to listen to those videos, I'll definitely encourage you to do so. At this time, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.